The new documentary entitled Freedom on Fire, Ukraine's Fight for Freedom, gives an inside look at the hardships brought on by the war in Ukraine and the resilience of the Ukrainian people. Here's a look at the film's trailer.
Когда уже становилось очень-очень плохо, когда бомбежки усиливались, я просто сидела и думала, как безболезненнее умереть вместе с ним.
От жизни освободили, от жилья освободили, от работи освободили, от всього освободили.
Та й всьою державою фашист, що він зробив? Його не може весь світ зупинити.
Ми завжди раді людям, гостям. Але ці гостям, які до нас прийшли з мечем, ми не раді.
Ребенок 19 лет, он еще ничего не видел. Он мне сказал, а кто, если мы, мужчины, будем вас защищать?
Гордость за то, как мы сейчас объединились. Я очень горжусь тем, что украинцы.
Wow. The film was recently screened at the Vatican for Pope Francis, who addressed the audience after the screening, leading a prayer and calling for peace. Joining us now is the film's producer and director, Evgeny Afanevsky. This film is a companion piece to his Academy Award-nominated documentary, Winter on Fire, Ukraine's Fight for Freedom. Thank you so much for coming on the show to share this with you. I love the focus here on the Ukrainian people. I remember when the war broke out, the former president of Ukraine came on our show, and he said, and these words stuck with me ever since, that the Ukrainian people are fighting and dying and losing everything for the safety of the world. Can you talk about the strength and the resilience, but also the suffering of the Ukrainian people?
First of all, thank you for having me. And it's true. Since Maidan, since what I witnessed in 2013-14, I saw the resilience and the determination of these people to be free from the former Soviet Union ties and to be a part of the free and democratic society. And witnessing this in Maidan, witnessing this through the years after Maidan, after European Maidan that happens in 2013-14, and leading to the full-scale invasion last year, I think I witnessed how people determined to stand for the grounds for their motherland. They rather take a bullet into their face than they will submit to Russian empire.
So you started filming soon after Russia began its invasion. I know you have some incredible footage of some of the attacks. You followed some of the Ukrainian troops and first responders. So tell us a little bit more about the access you had and some of the images you're now going to bring into people's homes.
First of all, I think because my knowledge how to have camera crew on the grounds of Ukraine, since I did Maidan movie, I had already filmmakers there. So for me, in the first days of full-scale invasion, again, full-scale invasion, because the war started in 2014, immediately after Maidan.
Yes.
And literally in February next year, it's 10 years. So immediately with the full-scale invasion, I called to all my people on the grounds. I immediately took my flight there, and I went there to be on the ground by myself also. I literally initiated filming because for me it was important to document the history. For me it was important as quick as possible to bring these images to the world. So like Mikas just said, they are fighting for us. So I needed to educate the world. I needed also to show that what's happened during these 8 years between Maidan and last year was just forgotten war that was there. And I wanted the world to know about that. And I was afraid that we slowly will again distance ourselves from this war. And again, will be again escalation of the events.
You got a world historical event here that has been the subject of like widespread news coverage for the last couple of years, and people have been very focused on it. The ebbs and flows, but man, the Americans and other people around the world have seen a lot of footage, a lot of it horrific footage. You have other footage in this film that is equally horrific. As you went around and talked to people about paying for it and about airing it, what kind of reception did you get when you kind of made the pitch? It's obviously an important movie, but there's always that kind of hill you have to get across, which is, well, what are we going to see here that's new? Are people already tired of this war? That question of fatigue with a Ukrainian cause is something that I know Zelensky and others worry about in the West. What kind of reception did you, when we said, here's what I got? You guys want to put this on the air? What'd you hear about?
You know what is interesting? War fatigue is something that Russia tried to do since last year. And I saw the reporting of Resilience Foundation in UK that put it for the Foreign Ministry of UK, for Foreign Office of UK, where it says that war fatigue is an element that Russia created through propaganda. And it's interesting to learn that it's artificially created with the propaganda. Now, when you come into the networks today, networks don't want to show anything new and anything about the war because they're feeling that the world tires of this war. But you know, it is a dangerous thing to think because at the end of the day, the less we aware about this war, the more faster we can forget about this war and the more faster it can escalate. So I was struggling with distribution. I know many of my friends, filmmakers, who brought their movies to their networks, in the United States specifically, they were struggling with distribution. So, for example, this is coming out on a self-distribution way, and I'm lucky that I, as an experienced filmmaker, can bring it to the world. But many great movies about Ukraine, about the aspects of this war, not been seen at all.
Yeah, Adrian.
You know, you have certainly developed an expertise and understanding of what the Ukrainian people are facing each and every day, given the fact that you were on the ground for so long making this documentary. What is your sense that their views would be, or their thoughts would be, if Republicans in Congress in the United States of America do not continue to fund this war in Ukraine? What is the sense that you think that they may get if the United States ultimately is not continuing to fund the war in Ukraine?
First of all, I think we need to remind to our government about Budapest Memorandum 1994, when America, when UK and when Russia signed Budapest Memorandum in exchange for more safety in this world. And I think we are responsible to protect Ukraine by this agreement. I think we don't want to be seen as somebody who's not obeying by the agreements. So this we also need to remind. And secondly, they're fighting with the enemy of the world. I think this needs to be reminded. I, who witnessed how Putin's operations operating in United States soil, here in our home, I always thinking, hey, they're fighting our enemies, so we need to support them.
That's right. Freedom on Fire, Ukraine's fight for freedom, is available to stream on demand beginning on Tuesday. It is worth a watch. Director and producer Evgeny Afinievsky, thank you so much for being on this morning. We appreciate it. Thank you for doing this.
Thank you. Thank you.